Wrote down because I went through it. Okay.
Right when you are.
Ready. This is not your first radio interview, is it? I didn't think so. Welcome to Connecting Atlanta Radio, hosted on the #1 fastest growing Atlanta internet radio station, worldstarhitradio.com. And this evening we have a very special guest, Marques Ogden, who used to play professional NFL football and now is a professional speaker teaching other NFL football players, professionals, and anybody that wants to listen how to create their own professional speaking career. So if you're listening in today on Tuesday, the 24th, I think it is, of October, and you're in town, be sure to go to marquesogden.com to see about the speaking engagement this coming Thursday and Friday. And welcome to the show, Marques.
How are you, Jacqueline?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Just fine.
So tell us a little bit about your football career. Like, what made you decide to start playing professional football?
I grew up in a household with a single dad who played football at Howard.
Okay.
We had my brother and I were from birth were taught about playing football. It's a great way to be active, to be great teamwork, bonding. He never forced us to play football.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, if you want to play, I will always back. If you don't want to play, that's fine too.
Mm-hmm.
So I was too big until my freshman year of high school. From freshman year to senior year, played, enjoyed it a lot. Got a scholarship to Howard University, which was fantastic. Played there 5 years under Steve Wilson, who played in the NFL for Dallas and for Denver.
Okay.
From there, I was drafted to the National Football League by Jack Del Rio, who's the current head coach of the Oakland Raiders. It was fantastic. I mean, I played for 6 years at the highest level possible, and it's like, I tell people all the time, like, it's a real feeling of being able to be your best and play your best and just be doing it all the time and have it as a career and as a job, which was fantastic. It's a lot of hard work.
Mm-hmm.
It was really, really fantastic to play in the NFL for almost 6 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it was great.
exciting. I know there's a lot of people that always want to be able to go play professional, don't always get that opportunity.
Correct.
I just happen to have a few friends that have played professional football, ironically enough. But you were raised by your father. So how do you think that was different as you were growing up? Because whenever you think of, like, on a standard basis, like if it's a single family home, they're usually raised by their moms.
Correct.
So how do you think the difference between maybe when you were raised in comparison to maybe some of your friends that were probably raised by single moms, what do you think the difference is?
I think the difference was my dad being a very big guy, he's as big as 6'4", about 450 pounds.
Okay.
He raised my brother and I to respect women. He raised us to be very engaging young men where we had strong character, strong values. We respected, elderly people that have authority, and we were raised that way. And I think by having a father who was like that, who could kind of set the structure, he was a great dad, but at the same time he was kind of strict. Mm-hmm. For us was great because my brother was 6'9" in the eighth grade.
Oh my gosh!
So we were big kids growing up. So having that strong male figure was able to help give us that guidance that we so desperately needed as young men, and taught us how to tie a tie, how to make sure you iron your pants, and we both went to private schools.
Okay.
He made sure our education was number one, because he said when football is over, whenever that's going to be, you're going to be educated young men.
Right.
Period.
Right.
So we had that. So having that father figure was critical for both my brother and I to have that success as men growing up from the age of adolescence to adulthood.
Okay. And then and playing in football and an organized sport for so long and so many years, even at the professional level, how do you think that has developed you as an individual, in addition to everything your father taught you, as to going out there and having the success that you've had outside of football?
Football taught me three main characteristics. Number one, teamwork.
Okay.
The ability to work with others, trust others, and the ability to be able to get a job done in a cohesive manner. Number two, it taught me respect. I respected my teammates. I respected my opponents. I respected my coaching staff. I respect everyone that I came into contact with. Jack Del Rio, Brian Billick, Mike Malarkey and Jeff Fisher were my 4 coaches in my career, were big on those aspects.
Okay.
And the third thing it taught me was punctuality.
Okay.
Punctuality is huge.
Right.
Because if you're working with somebody and you don't show up on time or you don't show them the respect that they deserve, it's kind of embarrassing, it's kind of insulting.
Yeah.
So those 3 characteristics, teamwork, respect, and punctuality, were huge for me to transcend from athletics to, you know, the real world.
Right.
There's no football. So, and I used those traits to start a successful business, and from there to what I'm doing now as a successful motivational speaker and a best-selling author as well.
And so, as you're going in and you are a motivational speaker and so forth,
Yep.
Now that wasn't your first business when you got outside of football.
No, it wasn't.
And then after that specific business, you've had your transition to going into professional speaking. So can you share a little bit of your story about before that and how that helped you with your professional speaking career?
When I got out of the NFL, I started a very successful construction company called Caden Premier Enterprises. And what we did was we were the #1 minority-based site work company in the state of Maryland.
Okay.
We grew from $0 to $12 million in 5 years.
Okay.
I ended up taking on a project that was a little too large for my revenue base.
Right.
And I ended up going bankrupt.
Okay.
I spent...
In like 30 days or something like that?
90.
90 days.
I had to spend $2 million in 90 days.
Wow.
And I did not get paid back by the owner or the general contractor. And I went bankrupt. From there, the NFL came in to help me out, which is, I can't thank them for what they did for me and my family. But going through that process, I learned. You know, Tony Robbins is one of the best speakers of all time, says that failure is part of the learning process.
Right, I would agree
so
with that.
without having gone through that type of environment and that type of hardship, I wouldn't be as good a speaker because I could not relate to people. A lot of people have gone through a bankruptcy or gone through some type of turmoil financially, and they're not able to talk about it. They're embarrassed. They're ashamed. If more people were open and talked about it, I feel society would be better to help avoid others from making those mistakes.
Yeah, yeah.
So by going through Caden's failures, again, wrong people, wrong process, and I don't blame anybody, Jacqueline, but myself.
Right.
Full accountability, because my tagline is I inspire people to take accountability.
Okay.
I messed up. I
like
made
that.
the failure. That was my mistake.
Right.
So without that process, I could not be a speaker that could relate to you of going through some type of real financial turmoil.
Right.
And that makes me relatable, and that makes me more of an engaging person when you listen to me talk. I'm not supposed to say, oh, I was born with a spoon in my mouth, I had millions of dollars from birth. No, I worked, I got into college, I went to the NFL, I grew my business, I lost it all, and I'm here today to say, hey, I made a mistake, here's what I did wrong, learn from me so you don't make the same mistakes that I did.
Now, you had your bachelor's and then you went back and got your master's in finance after football, or was it during? Or?
No, actually, I got a degree in finance. I went back to do some construction development work after I got out of college.
Out of college, okay.
So I got my degree. It was kind of like a program for construction development.
Okay.
Learning how to go through the process of estimating, bidding. I wanted to be able to have as much information as I could when I started my construction company.
That's awesome. So you prepared yourself,
Correct.
studied, educated yourself. Okay, that's fantastic. So you didn't rely upon like any, because unless you have endorsements or whatever, we know there's really no residuals after football, right? And so you went out, you drove yourself to creating your own business,
Right.
went through the challenges. A friend of mine, she does businesses on finance.
Okay.
And she always talks about having a year, 2 years worth of savings and so on and so forth. And she just had like hiccup after hiccup that's depleted her savings account, right? And so she was talking the other day about how she was embarrassed a little bit because how she's supposed to teach about this if she has pretty much, circumstances in life, you just can't help that.
Correct.
But which is the exact same thing that you were saying, I was like, well, maybe that's God's way of preparing you for your next level in life, because then that's giving you the ability to be able to say, okay, this is the challenge I went through and this is how you overcome that.
Correct.
So you have your speaking engagement that's coming up. So
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about that. What made you decide to do the academy?
I've been working in speaking for about 10 years. I was in the National Football League. I did a lot of events for the NFL, different teams I was on. A lot of guys have been approaching me probably within the last 12 to 18 months. I've gone full time with this about 18 months ago, give or take. And I've had tremendous success through a lot of hard work, a lot of consistency on social media, clear, concise message. I get into things that I think are going to help me build my brand. And a lot of my colleagues will say, hey, Marcus, how did you get this job? Hey, Marcus, I'm talking to this person. Should I work with this company? Marcus, what should I charge to speak? So a lot of my colleagues from the NFL Brotherhood were asking me a lot of questions. So I sat down, then I asked my wife, I said, do you think we should do this? She said, this is a great idea. And we moved forward with it. And it's an academy to help people learn things like know your value, how to identify your story, how to talk to event planners. 80% of event planners are female. Right. So if guys...
like all the event planners I know are all female.
Right. So if guys can't talk to females, don't get into this business.
Right.
So how to, stand out as a speaker. Things like that. So it's driven to help people learn things that I've had to learn through the process, and hopefully you'll learn it faster. We have 3 speakers coming in along with myself, hitting these different topics and segments. We also have some live drills and exercises throughout the program.
Oh, wow.
And then we also have what's called the Huddle, which is a networking event where you can get a chance to network with people, hand out business cards, talk in a very relaxed, friendly environment.
Okay. Oh,
so
like
it's just kind of ways to kind of help guys relax, meet people, have a little something to eat, mingle, things like that. But I really started this academy to help people find out. I was getting a lot of questions about how am I doing this. So I want to be able to do this and show people that it can be done with hard work and dedication.
Okay, that's awesome. And so what would you say is probably name top 3 things that you guys, well, you already just said that. Provide some suggestions or some advice on the top 3 things that someone should know when they're looking to become a speaker. I mean, you did say have a concise message was one of the things you did to come up with this.
The first thing for sure is, number 1, know your audience. I did a speaking job at downtown Chicago for a company, knack. Great company. I had a guy there. I trained both his sons, got me in. I did a speaking engagement there. I thought I did pretty good. I got a call a couple days later after the event. He said, Marcus, people really enjoyed it, but you focus too much on your business life. We are a medical sales company. We are hospitals. We want to hear about concussions. We want to hear about, the healthcare industry of the NFL. How's healthcare after the NFL? The best advice he ever gave me was, tailor your message to your audience. They hired me again a year later. I hit it out of the park, and from there it started. So know your audience.
Okay.
Number 2, have a very clean and concise social media.
Okay.
In today's market, LinkedIn, for me and for our brand, has gotten us more jobs and more people because we are consistent. I don't get on issues that to me aren't going to help my brand.
Right.
I don't want to shut myself off from possibilities. So I stay very neutral. I talk about children. I talk about working with hospitals. I'm very, very broad. I don't get into specific topics or lanes that could close my market.
Right.
So I don't do, and that's number 2. And number 3, it's just you have to be engaging. People are human. They don't want to be bored.
Right, exactly.
So that's why I tell people all the time, if you can talk about from personal experience, it goes a lot further. Yeah. Like, I'm a best-selling author because my book is very real about how I lost all my money. I'm not telling you something I made up. Right. I'm not talking to somebody I don't know. Like Steve Harvey, The Rock, the woman who wrote the Harry Potter book, they've all been financially distressed. Steve Harvey has a saying, if you need to go out and fly, like sometimes your parachute may not open. Right, sometimes you're going to have issues, but you have to keep trying. You have to keep flying. What makes me really excited is when people that I haven't met before, like through LinkedIn, something like that, or coming to the academy, say that I inspire them with my posting. Because I'm consistent. I'm trying to uplift people and show them there is a positive track, even if you might have a bad day. Right. We all have bad days.
Everybody does, yeah.
All have bad days. But complaining about that bad day doesn't get you anywhere.
No.
So it's all about getting off the couch or getting up out of your seat or chair and making a difference. Right. And trying to better yourself.
Okay, that's awesome. And that was one of the reasons why we wanted to have you on the show today as well, in addition to is because you're out there making a difference. Right?
Well, I try to live by like the code my father taught me. He said, Marcus, if you get into a position where you can touch people with your message, it's your job to make that message a good one and a positive one.
I like that.
He said, because you and your brother are both gifted. So you're going to play football more likely, but you have a chance to do more off the field. You have a chance to actually make a difference in someone's life. People have told me all the time, Marcus, seeing your posts, I'm started to aspire to start my own company. I'm inspired to become a speaker. I'm inspired to try to actually change the position that my life is in currently.
That's awesome.
Again, and like I say, pictures go a long way.
Right.
It's easy to say something.
Right.
I could tell you, I'm working with Jacqueline H. I'm on a show. Well, great. Right. But if you have a picture doing something, people are visual creatures. Yes. If they see it, they want to be a part of it. Right. That's just the way it is.
It's true. And that's one of the it's interesting because a lot of times when I won't even know people are watching, or whether it's on the radio station or on Facebook Live or the other videos, and then they'll just come out and inbox me and just like the differences I'm making in their lives, and I'm like, wow, I had no idea like it was even people were paying that much attention. You know what I'm saying? You just never really
don't know. It's like, for example, I was at Costco about maybe 2 weeks ago. Really nice guy I met. You liked that post. He was the guy at the gas station.
Okay, yes.
Nice guy, was working. It was a Monday morning. He was saying hi to people no one really was talking to. They were hi and bye. I was stretching, sitting there getting some gas. He walked up to me, said hi. I could tell he was dying for a conversation. He's like, hey, we're making small talk. So I took a selfie with him. I said, he asked me if I ever played football. I told him I played NFL. He got starstruck. He was like, oh, that's awesome. Never met an NFL player before. It took me literally 10 seconds to take a picture with him, send it to him. And I said, let me just go ahead and post this and say, hey, be kind, doesn't cost you anything.
Right.
That picture has now over 12,000 likes on LinkedIn.
Wow.
And I've gotten probably about 10 people to hit me up about possible speaking gigs.
That's awesome.
We were driving as got a water job today in San Francisco for a women's empowerment event. The woman who owned the company said, I saw your post and reached out to you.
That's awesome.
That's always I saw. And I said,
so you just never really know, and you didn't do it for that. You did it because you were just wanting to encourage other people
to be positive. And
to
make someone smile.
Right.
It doesn't cost you anything to make somebody smile.
Exactly.
It really doesn't. And that guy, I see him at Costco. I would say hello to him. And he remembers me. And
does he work there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's a gas station attendant.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he must be like, oh my gosh.
Oh, it's great. And again, it's the little things that go a long way. I wasn't trying to use that for PR. I was using it to tell people, hey, look, you can make somebody's day by taking 5 seconds out of your day.
Exactly. So, and I think that's important. Kind of like that one movie where they were like, Pass It On or whatever it was called, where they just continued, that little kid started it or something like that. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's exciting. So you guys are home based in North Carolina.
Correct.
And then you travel all over to do your speaking engagements.
Correct. And
is that what you do full time? Is just speaking?
Yes, I full time do speaking. I do success coach, transition work. I work with people and helping them get sponsorships, things like that. I'm really, truly focused on our academy, doing that. We're going to have one next year in Chicago. We're looking to have maybe another one in D.C. There's a couple people that are interested in working with us potentially. So we're trying to investigate those avenues. But honestly, if you grow the Speaking Academy the right way, that is what I want to do, because I can help so many people and it can start to transcend into more speaking opportunities on a larger scale. I've been to Mexico, been all over the U.S. I actually just got awarded a job tonight in Canada. I just found out I've been chasing this job for probably about 3 months.
Oh, wow.
I just got awarded a job with the National Hockey League alumni in Calgary in December.
And I'm just going to throw this out there for you. So now that you have like your speaking academy, and this may be something you guys were already thinking, but once people have been certified through your academy and have proven themselves that you guys, and when other people want to get speaking engagements, if it's not necessarily something you specifically talk about, you'd be able to have people underneath your academy go out and do that engagement and do some type of...
Yeah, we're looking to grow that. First things first, this is our inaugural one.
I know. I was thinking
we're sold out. We have 9.
That's awesome. I think that's fantastic.
We have 9 sponsors that sponsored.
Okay.
This Home Depot is bringing their senior marketing manager tomorrow on Thursday night. SunTrust Bank is bringing their senior marketing manager, VP of Wealth Management. There's some other companies doing that as well. looking to sponsor 2017 Academy.
You had sponsors for this one as well, correct?
We have 9.
Okay, so one of my questions for you as well is when you are, this is your first academy, right? So your track record has been speaking engagements where you came in and spoke for someone else, but your track record hasn't been in actually putting events on up to that. So why do you think, or give us 3 top things that helped you to be successful, or what you did to help you be successful to bring those sponsorships in?
Number 1, social media.
Okay.
Without a doubt. 6 of my sponsors sponsored me without even meeting me. Because they saw my social media for at least 6 months or longer. Okay. So Twitter, LinkedIn brought people to me that never met me in person.
You were consistent with your message. You talked about your academy. How long have you been planning your academy for?
We've been planning for probably about 6 months.
Okay. All right.
So that's number 1. Number 2 is my website.
Okay. You have a great website.
The reference letters from Fortune 100 companies. I'm a 35-year-old male that's in the last 12 months has spoken for 3 Fortune 100 companies. Okay. JP Morgan Chase, Cisco, Siemens. Okay. That's not a mistake. These companies can hire whoever they want. Right. These people are banging their door down for business. So to hire me within being doing full time for a year says something about my track record. So my website's number 2. And number 3, honestly, it's just the word of mouth. People have been talking about it, posting it, sharing it, going back to social media, going back to this good old fashioned, the old the old indirect marketing. You put on a good
word of mouth,
put a product on, people want to be around it.
Right.
So we've been very, very careful in how we market ourselves through social media, through indirect and direct marketing. Yeah. And we're very efficient on how we make things to our website. Very strategic about that. At the end of the day, that's a revenue stream. Yeah. And again, people know my record as a speaker, so this academy is helping them to show that we can do more than just speak on a one given topic. Right.
That's awesome. I was just thinking about that the other day. I was like, I really need to start utilizing my network through LinkedIn, because my network, when I was doing posts on a consistent basis, or at least the notes, whatever, the articles and stuff that you can create. I was, and now I had over 2,000 people, whatever, but I'm just not consistent with it. I'm more active on Facebook. But in regards to my business, I need to become way more
If you're looking for
active
for monetary sponsorships, business acquisitions, I go on LinkedIn a lot more. Because Facebook's more of a social, family, friend type of environment. People are on LinkedIn looking to make business deals. Okay. Period. Yeah. And if you have, the NFL actually sent a letter out. The NFL Retired Players Association sent a letter out to all the NFL retired players, probably about 40,000 or so around the country, saying that if you don't have a LinkedIn page, that's shame on you. And if you don't have a LinkedIn page that has an all-star rating, you're missing money. Right. And this is coming from the NFLPA, coming from all the different alumni groups. LinkedIn is a huge marketing tool.
What's the all-star rating? What's that?
So basically it means that all your stuff is up to date. Like you have all your photos, you have stuff like that. It gives you an all-star rating. Okay, and you have a complete profile.
I do have that. Yeah. Okay.
So it's important.
All right. Yeah, that's very important because it helps you with streaming and stuff like that, and people finding you and networking and connecting and so forth. I get a lot of connections on a regular basis. So there are people trying to network and connect with me, but a lot of times people are just trying to sell me in my inbox, and I'm like,
oh yeah, you're going to get that. I get that all the time, like SEO, your website. I get it all the time, but then I just know, thank you, I'm not interested. And also, this is very important for people that are trying to build a brand. Do not get into banter with someone on social media. Yeah. Don't get into a situation where a photo, a picture, a text, something, an email can be used against you. Especially if you're a professional athlete trying to start that process, because you're already going to have haters in general. Yeah. So don't give them any more ammunition. If someone's trying to bench with me, I say, thank you very much, I'm not interested, I'll shut it down. I'll say, please stop emailing me, please stop contacting me, move on. You're going to get people that want to steal your thunder or get to cause an issue for you. Right. That's normal human nature. People are jealous of what they cannot have.
Right, or that they're not willing to go out there and try to create themselves.
Correct.
So I think, let me see, what time is it? It is So why don't you just tell us maybe if someone hasn't already signed up for the workshop, if someone hasn't already signed up for the work for the Speaking Academy, or if they want to hire you for future speaking engagement or become a part of your next Speaking Academy, just share a couple of things.
So pretty much you can go to our website, www.marquesogden.com. On there, you'll have like a Speaking Academy tab. You'll have booking information. You can always call me directly. My email is Marques, MARQUES _Ogden@yahoo.com.
Okay.
People can go there and contact me there. Again, it's a great place to find me. Again, follow me on LinkedIn. My name is at Marques Ogden on Twitter. It's Marques Ogden on LinkedIn.
Pretty seamless.
And it's at Marques _Ogden on Twitter.
Right.
I mean, because you don't want to have these crazy names or things like that, because people are going to have problems following you. It doesn't look professional.
Right.
It's like you mean business. So I'm very clear and concise on how to find me.
Right.
Very easy.
Right.
But again, if you want to book us, for an event, you can find me on LinkedIn. I always message people back, and then we can kind of go create a dialogue from there.
Yeah, and then you pretty much do a lot of your own speaking and so forth. It's not like you have a specific person that.
No, I work with several different people. I have a guy out of Canada who's great. He actually just got me the job. I mean, literally, I was going to the restroom and coming out, and he just texted me that the NHL finally, after 3 months, has approved you for this price plus travel in December.
That's awesome! Congratulations!
So
high five on that on camera.
I've been chasing that for about a good 3 months. Yeah. My wife knows that.
And that's one of the other things, just really quick, is that don't give up, because there's been accounts where I've worked on for like a year, and then the company finally did business with me. So there may be sponsorships. It may just not be in their specific budget. So you said you have 3-4 that are working with you for 2017, right? So even though it's not going to be. It may not be for this specific one in regards to sponsorships, but they will be working with you.
And they're coming to see. They're
coming to check it
out.
out.
Home Depot is number 34 on the Fortune 500 list. They did $75 billion in revenue.
Yeah, that's wild.
To get in with them, it takes something. But I'm going to leave with this message here. To be a public speaker, if it be anything in life that's worth something, you have to work hard.
Right.
If you don't have the ability to take rejection, if you don't have the ability to hear the words no. Don't become a speaker. One of my acronyms for no is next opportunity.
Correct.
If I hear no, I'm going to go on to the next one.
Right.
But do not. It took me almost 2 years to get to this point now. People actually know who I am and respect my work as a speaker. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
You got to do a lot of free events. You got to do a lot of networking. You got to do a lot of getting out there. Speak at a high school. Speak at a football program. Speak somewhere. Go to your local chamber of commerce. Get video. Get reference letters. Build from the ground up. You are not going to get hired like that in speaking, because too many people want to do it, and in order for someone to actually pay you money, they have to be able to prove to their board of directors or to their treasurer that you are worth that price.
So that's awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to shut this down, but